Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Charanarottam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Diri Ashtaprayeshu Vadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevayam Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. So continuing with the discussion on Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 25, how all the residents of Varanasi became Vaishnavas. Text 109. Yavanaham yatha bhavu yadrup gun karmaka tathev tattva vijnanam astu te mad anugriha. By my causeless mercy, be enlightened in truth about my personality, manifestations, qualities, and pastimes. So this is conversation between Krishna and Brahmaji. Srishtir Purve Shadeshware Purna Amita Haye Prapancha Prakriti Purusha Mate Ilaye. Before the creation of the cosmic manifestation, the Lord said, I existed, and the total material energy, material nature, and the living entities all existed in me. So this, of course, Krishna and Mahavishnu, they are on the same plenary level. So this is about Mahavishnu, but Krishna, they are not different. So Krishna said, everything existed in me. Srishti kari taramate ami praveshiye prapancha ye dekha sabha sehami haye. After creating the cosmic manifestation, I entered into it. Whatever you see in the cosmic manifestation is but an expansion of my energy. Pralay avashishtami purna haye prakrit prapancha paye ametai laye. When the whole universe dissolves, I remain full in myself, and everything that was manifested is again preserved in me. So this is the Lord. How can he come under any material energy when material energy comes from? Aham eva sameva agre nanyat yat sat asat param paschad aham et yad etacha. You avisheshet swamiham. Prior to the cosmic manifestation, only I exist and no phenomena exists, either gross, subtle, or primordial. After creation, only I exist in everything, and after annihilation, only I remain eternally. This is again from Srimad Bhagavatam. Aham eva shloke aham tin bar purna ishwarya shri vigra sthitira nirdha. In the words beginning aham ev, the word aham is expressed 3 times. In the beginning, there are the words aham eva. In the second line, there are the words paschadaham. At the end of the word soamyaham. This aham indicates the Supreme Person. So this clearly it is that Brahm Jyoti is not the Supreme. Brahm, people talk about Brahmasmi and this and that. It's a person. He says 3 times, he said, aham, aham, aham. I exist. By the repetition of aham, the transcendental personality, who is complete with 6 opulences, is confirmed. Ye vigrah nahi mane nirakara mane tare tiraskari bare karila nirdharane. Impersonalists do not accept the personal feature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The personality of Godhead is stressed in this verse in order to impress upon them the necessity of accepting Him. Therefore, the word aham is mentioned 3 times. To stress something important, one repeats it 3 times. So, but impersonalists, Nirakarvadis, they still don't believe in a personal form of the Lord. यही सब शब्द है ज्ञान विज्ञान विवेक Maya karya maya haite amivyatireka. Lord Krishna continued, actual spiritual knowledge and its practical application are considered in all these sound vibrations. Although the external energy comes from me, I am different from it. Yaiche Surya Sthani Bhashe Abhas Surya Vina Swatantratar Ahai Prakasha. Sometimes the reflection of the sun is experienced in place of the sun, but its illumination is never possible independent of the sun. So reflection of the sun is experienced in place of the sun. Just like in the morning, if we go look at sunrise. So before the sun, before we see the sun, it's called Arun. We see the light of the sun. We don't see the sun yet, but that light, illumination is never possible independent of the sun. So Brahm Jyoti cannot be there without the Lord being there. मायातीत हाइले हाय आमार अनुभव ei sambandha tattva kahil shunar saga. When one is transcendently situated, he can perceive me. This perception is a basis of one's relationship with the Supreme Lord. Now let me further explain this subject matter. So real spiritual knowledge has to be received from revealed scriptures. After this knowledge is attained, one can begin to perceive his actual spiritual life. Any knowledge achieved by speculation is imperfect. One must receive knowledge from the parampara system and from the guru. Otherwise, one will be bewildered and will ultimately become an impersonalist. Because then one cannot understand what's the real knowledge, what exactly the scriptures are talking about. If we try to understand on our own without following parampara system. One who very scrutinizingly deliberates on genuine spiritual knowledge can realize a personal feature of the absolute truth. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is always transcendental to this material creation. Narayana Para Avyaktat. Narayan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is always transcendental. He is not a creation of this material world. Without realizing spiritual knowledge, one cannot understand that the transcendental form of the Lord is always beyond the creative energy, is always beyond the creative energy. The example of the sun and the sunshine is given. The sunshine is not the sun, but still the sunshine is not separate from the sun. The philosophy of Achintya Bheda Bhed Tattva cannot be understood by one who is fully under the influence of the external energy or Maya. Consequently, a person under the influence of the material energy cannot understand the nature and form of the personality of the absolute truth. It's just not possible. Then further, the Chatushloki Bhagavatam, the next shloka is Rite Artham Yat Pratiyet Na Pratiyet Cha Tad Vidyad Atmano Maya Yatha Bhasu Yatha Tama. What appears to be truth without me is certainly my illusory energy, for nothing can exist without me. It is like a reflection of a real light in the shadows. For in the light there are neither shadows nor reflections. In the light there are neither shadows, obviously, and nor reflections. So this is a quotation from Srimad Bhagavatam. Abhidheya sadhan bhaktir sunah vichar sarva jan desha kala dashate vyapti vyar. Now please hear from me about the process of devotion service, which is applicable in any country, for any person at all times and in all circumstances. The cult of Bhagavad Dharma can be spread in all circumstances, among all people and in all countries. Many envious people accuse the Krishna consciousness movement of spoiling the rigidity of so-called Hinduism. That is not actually the fact. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu confirms that devotional service to the Lord, the cult of Bhagavad Dharma, which is now being spread as a Hare Krishna movement, can be spread in every country to every person in any condition of life and in all circumstances. Bhagavad Dharma does not restrict pure devotees to the Hindu point. A pure devotee is above a Brahman, therefore it is not incompatible to offer the sacred thread to devotees in Europe, America, Australia, Japan, Canada, and so on. Sometimes these pure devotees who have been accepted by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are not allowed to enter certain temples in India. Also, some high caste Brahmins and Goswamis refuse to take prasadam in the temples of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Actually, this is against the instruction of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Devotees can come from any country and they can belong to any creed or race. On the strength of this verse, those who are actually devotees and followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu must accept devotees from all parts of the world as pure Vaishnavas. They should be accepted not artificially but factually. One should see how they are advanced in Krishna consciousness and how they are conducting deity worship, Sankirtan, and Rath Yatra. Considering all these points, the envious persons must henceforward refrain from their malicious atrocities. So Prabhupada had not so good experience with Brahmins from India, and he had to deal with them. And this is what Mahaprabhu is saying, anybody can be engaged in the devotional service at any time, at all circumstances. Dharmadi Vishaya Chari Vichar Sadhan Bhakti Chari Vichare Rapar. As far as religious principles are concerned, there is a consideration of the person, the country, the time, and the circumstances. In devotional service, however, there are no such considerations. Devotional service is transcendental to all such considerations. When we are on the material platform, there are different types of religions: Hinduism, Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, and so on. These are instituted for a particular time, a particular country, or a particular person. Consequently, there are differences. Christian principles are different from Hindu principles, and Hindu principles are different from Muslim and Buddhist principles. These may be considered on the material platform, but when we come to the platform of transcendental devotional service, there are no such considerations. The transcendental service of the Lord, sadhana bhakti, is above these principles. The world is anxious for religious unity, and that common platform can be achieved in transcendental devotional service. This is the verdict of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When one becomes a Vaishnava, he becomes transcendental to all these limited considerations. So every faith, they have their own way of looking at things. The scriptures are there and the interpretation is there. So that's why the difference is not only just between like Hindu or Muslim and Christian, but within Hindus, within Muslim faith, there are differences. But Prabhupada said, when one becomes a Vaishnava, Vaishnava means not Hindu. It doesn't mean it's Hindu. Vaishnava means a devotee of the Lord. That's it. He becomes transcendental to all these limited considerations. This is confirmed by Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. Mam jaya avyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate. One who engages in full devotional service, unfailing in all circumstances, at once transcends the modes of material nature and thus comes to the level of Brahman. So this is what devotional service does. If we are really engaged and properly situated in that, one transcends the modes of material nature, goes beyond even mode of goodness. The devotional activities of the Krishna consciousness movement are completely transcendental to material considerations. As far as different faiths are concerned, religions may be of different types, but on the spiritual platform, everyone has an equal right to execute devotion service. That is a platform of oneness and the basis for a classless society. Classless society means everybody has a right to perform devotion service. In his Amrit Prabha Bhashya, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur confirms that one has to learn from a bona fide spiritual master about religious principles, economic development, sense gratification, and ultimately liberation. These are the four divisions of regulated life, but they are on the material platform. On the spiritual platform, the four principles are Gyan, Vigyan, Tad Anga, and Tad Rahasya. Rules, regulations, and restrictions are on the material platform, but on the spiritual platform, one has to be equipped with transcendental knowledge, which is above the principles of religious rituals. Mundane religious activity is known as Smarta Vidhi, but transcendental devotion service is called Goswami Vidhi. Unfortunately, many so-called Goswamis are on the platform of Smarta Vidhi, yet try to pose as being on the platform of Goswami Vidhi, and thus the people are cheated. So we are not saying everybody is like that, some. Goswami Vidhi is strictly explained in Sanatana Goswami's Haribhakti Vilas, where it is said, by chemical manipulation, bell metal is turned into gold when touched by mercury. Similarly, when a person is properly initiated, he can acquire the qualities of a Brahman. The conclusion is that devotion service is open for everyone, regardless of caste, creed, time, and country. This Krishna consciousness movement is functioning according to this principle. And this principle is given by Mahaprabhu himself. Sarva desh kala dashaya janera kartavya guru pashe sei bhakti parastavya shrutavya. It is therefore the duty of every man in every country, in every circumstance, and at all times to approach a bona fide spiritual master, question him about devotion service, and listen to him explain the process. Sometimes people argue when they just want to argue without understanding the facts. Oh, you're saying do devotion service, chant, and do this, do that. What about people who are born in, say, remote parts, remote jungles of Africa? They have no access to your knowledge, to your preaching. So what about them? Why is not God thinking about them? So first of all, devotional service is for everybody. But if somebody is born in remote jungle area of Africa, or maybe in Siberia or somewhere, first question we have to ask is, why is he born over there? It's not by chance. And if he is born over there, first of all, it's not the first life or the last life. So if he doesn't come in contact with devotion service, for whatever reason, maybe next life he will get a chance. But those who have the chance right now, if they don't fully take advantage of it, take advantage of this opportunity, then what's the use of even in being born in India or anywhere else? So people, they do have a choice and they do get a chance. Krishna makes arrangements. But how much we take it up, that's up to us. So I guess I'll stop here. I'm very tired today. See anybody has any questions or comments? Okay, you all have a safe and wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri.
Hare Krishna, Jai Shri